Hello, I'm Aubrey Shepherd on the 15th of August 2016. Let's see some photos from Fayetteville, Arkansas. Okay, this is honeyvine milkweed. It's also known as Sonantium laevi, and it's finally in bloom. I've been watching the leaves for a while, and finally it's in bloom in many places around Fayetteville, Arkansas. It's food for the caterpillars of monarch butterflies. So if you see these little plants, these little tiny flowers on a vine, check them out. You might look under there and see a caterpillar of a monarch eating. Okay, this is a basket flower, American basket flower with a swallowtail. And here's a basket flower without no swallowtail on it, just all alone and bright. Recognize a hummingbird? Well, I cropped this one to make him stand out, and he really did. He's on a thistle, and there's the original size of it. And that's him. Maybe that one's cropped too. And but I was getting good shots because they weren't very shy. They were all around me out there in what I call the milkweed patch, but there's a lot of thistle. And this is a checker spot butterfly, and you can see he's nectaring on some yellow composite flower out there in the same area, and I don't see enough of those, and it took me a while to get that one to sit still long enough to get some photos. He's looking at you in this picture. It's not quite clear enough, but I didn't want to sharpen it up too much. This is a clear-winged moth, also on a thistle. And this little flower I could not identify. Look closely at the leaves and look at the flower and call me and tell me what it is, please. I'm in the phone book. Anyway, the thistle here also has a dark-colored swallowtail. And some of if John Rule had been here today, but he stayed in the country this week, I think, he could probably tell you which swallowtail it is. But you can see how much blue shines on the back. I think that's a giveaway to folks who know what it is. So give me a call, tell me which it is. And this is flowering spurge. Flowering spurge. And the reason I'm holding it in my hand in this case is the wind wouldn't let that little plant be still. And so I had to get close enough to see that it was visible to you. Now here I'm showing off little blue and big blue stem grass next to flowering spurge. And this is called river oats. It's pretty much the same as sea oats that you find on the Atlantic coast and other coasts, but it's a beauty out there on Pinnacle Foods Wet Prairie. Okay, this is something that's been blooming since way back in the spring, and I saw it out there, and I said, I better grab a shot of that because you won't see it maybe later in the fall. Okay, here's Liatris aspera with a little skipper on it, and love to make pictures of little skippers on things because it shows you how big the flower is. This is Asclepias verticillata, the very small milkweed plant that also feeds monarch caterpillars. And here you saw ironweed, and now we're seeing boneset, and it might exaggerate. Now this is Indian grass. Indian grass, and it's some of it will look yellow to you, and some of it will look almost red. It's so bright and orange. Here's a yellow version, and these are very important native plants. Okay, this is the Regional National Cemetery Improvement Corporation meeting, and let somebody else use my cameras to make that group picture. Everybody was there. And that last thing was the video, start of the video that I have online of the Nagasaki and Hiroshima commemoration. Until next time, do your part to help keep the water clean, the air pure, and the woods green. See ya. Hello, it's Aubrey Shepherd once again on the 15th of August 2016, and it's almost Razorback football season. And look at my shirt. My first alma mater, Louisiana Tech, is playing in Fayetteville. Hope you get to see it. Okay, this is Verbicina virginica. In the winter, we call it frostweed, and that one's real tall out there at Pinnacle Prairie this year. Okay, we're looking at milkweed, and this is Hurtella, Asclepias hurtella, and I'm showing this to show how tall it is and how many little skinny leaves there are for the monarchs. This is big blue stem grass in full bloom, and it's beautiful. And now here is goldenrod. Well, guess what? There's something strange about this picture. What is it? I separated that little critter, that little hair-streaked butterfly, and a critter scooted away off of there who had captured that little critter. And so I was too late to rescue it while it was healthy enough to fly away. This is obedient plant. You can see it's all bent, which is typical of those things. The wind does it, and anything that touches it can bend it easily. This is horse nettle. A few of those still in bloom, even though it's probably sort of late in the season for them. And this is swamp verbena. Verbena hustata is the name. And here's a somewhat brightened up version of the Indian grass that I was showing you before, but slightly different pictures and with the light set a little bit different. But Indian grass is going to be very plentiful in coming weeks on all our prairies. Okay, this is a mixture, and of course, here's an interesting wasp on bone set. And I love to see those wasps. And they're totally different and totally friendly, unlike the ones that may be trying to use your house for a nest. That's anyway, it's a pink thing I've talked about all spring. And this is dogbane, and it's a relative of milkweed, but it will not feed monarch caterpillars. It feeds some caterpillars of other things. Okay, here's a pretty special dragonfly that was there. Here is something that's called meadow beauty, Rexia, R-H, whatever, E-I-Z-I-A. Anyway, it's something that I photographed in the spring, and it's still coming back out there, and more of it actually. That's a bolus spider. You see him, he's lurking under the foliage and so forth of the ironweed. Okay, this is from the Fayetteville Square. A lot of little kids got to see this butterfly on Saturday last. What was that, the 13th? Yeah. And he just kept on. It's a giant swallowtail. Maybe I can say its name, Papillo something or other. But it's one of the largest of the butterflies that we have commonly in the United States. And it, you can see when the wings, you see the back part, it looks totally different creature from another angle. But maybe it'll be there next Saturday. Go check it out. Okay, this is on a window. I'm inside the post office taking a picture of this little skipper who was on the window. And this is a native wildflower that grows in wet places, and it's an orchid, or yeah, I guess it's in the orchid family, and it's quite beautiful. See ya.